This is her call today. She asked me to sub, but she did do a video recording for all of you that we'll play right now.
Today's LFG call, I want to show you an AI tool called the Buyer Prediction Tool. In order to get here, you go to philstringer.com/buyer prediction. And it'll take you buyer dash prediction. There we go. So right up here, philstringer.com/buyer dash prediction. And it takes you to an amazing AI tool that this gentleman, Phil Stringer, built. And it takes all the data points from recently sold homes and tells you exactly who or the person type that's going to purchase said house. So why is this important for us as we operate a senior focused real estate business? One, when you walk into a listing appointment and you have a pre-plan for your marketing, it's huge, and they know that you've put some time into it. Two, a lot of older adults are still a little bit blown away by AI, and they don't realize how powerful it is. So if you walk into a listing appointment at, let's go through this exercise, 7401 Raleigh Drive, this is my address, St. Louis, Missouri, 63123, price point is gonna be like $550. So all you do is you put the address and a price point that you think it's gonna be, a range. It doesn't have to be the exact listing price. And then you hit submit and watch what it does. Obviously it has to think a little bit like ChatGPT, but it's pulling data points from the tax record, from MLS, from I don't know where, all the places, and it is spitting out who is going to be the person that buys this house. So go all the way to the top and you see introduction. The property at 7401 Raleigh Drive is positioned in a competitive housing market with a price point of $550. It appeals to an upscale segment of buyers, and then it gives you the demographic, 35 to 50 years old. Interesting, because I'm 35. Income, 100,000 to 150 annually. Occupation, mid to senior level professionals, entrepreneurs, or dual income families. Family status, married, often with children. Our neighborhood is full of families with children, so that is also accurate. Values, stability, community, education, quality of life, interest, outdoor activities, cultural events, dining out, community involvement. That could not be more true, as I am the owner of this house, and those are all of my favorite things. Fitness, travel, home improvement. I'm not much a gardener, but it's telling you the exact things that the buyer for this house is going to do. Lifestyle preferences, motivations, concerns, affordability versus value, school quality, pain points, economic uncertainty, competitive market, family lifestyle balance. So then it tells you marketing strategy recommendations. You can take this and build it into your listing plan and crush it every single time. And it also gives you content ideas. So we all know we have to be on social media, whether we love it or we hate it. It is so necessary because that's where the buyers are seeing our homes for the first time. So this gives you ideas of blog post on financial planning tips for buying in the current market, video tours focusing on the community and lifestyle. There's a biking trail right by our house. This says that the buyer probably loves outdoor activities. I would do a reel about how close my house is to a biking trail if I were selling my house. So this is just such a helpful tool to make you stand out above the rest. You're not going to be the agent that puts a sign in the yard, takes pictures of it, puts it online and prays that it sells. Rather, you have an AI generated marketing plan. And the way that I would present it to my client, I would say, according to AI, which takes a look at all of the data points, the buyer for your house is going to be XYZ, and therefore I've built a custom marketing plan for you. When you hire me, these are the things I'm going to do. I'm going to create narratives around the property's lifestyle. I'm going to make reels of the outdoor lifestyle and how you can have community in this neighborhood. I'm going to do social media campaigns featuring family activities because we know it's probably going to be young professionals growing a family or young families. So I wanted to highlight this tool, make sure that you knew about it, and give you a leg up on your next listing appointment. I would love to hear your thoughts. I would love for you guys to brainstorm, but if you don't have anything, today's LFG call is a quick one, and your homework is to Google this buyer prediction and put in an address of one of your listings, or if you don't have any listings coming soon, put in your own address and see how accurate it is. I would love for you to report back. Go forth and be awesome today.
Damn, that was incredible. AI is either going to enhance us or replace us. I prefer to enhance. That was absolutely incredible. Manage their expenses. I'll say it one more time. Has nothing to do with money, has to do with a mentality. What's up here? People with money, a mentality of money, a mentality of abundance, manage their investments. People without money manage their expenses. What are you thinking about? What are you paying attention to? What are you putting your energy toward? Just think about that for a second. Stop, pause, think, listen to yourself. So I don't look to those people, board of directors, right? Why do I call board of directors? I'm going to go into a very, very intricate, mentally deep, revealing the thought process behind board of directors. So I'll share in great detail what that is on Friday. But the concept is just thinking about this, whether you are making money from me not currently is immaterial. You are someone that will. If I am worth investing in, if Heather Gorney thinks she is worth investing in, then she needs to present as such. If I walked around with Apple stock and right now it's at a pretty good low, is something going to go wrong with Apple? No. Your favorite stock is right now discounted 30%. Do you buy something you really want when it's on discount? The answer would be yes. Dollar cost average. Keep investing in something you believe in. I'm not telling you to buy it or not. I'm giving you an example. So if Apple stock was being presented to you, it's appealing. Everybody says it's a buy. Are you the same way? When you walk into a room and you present what your corporate attitude is, are people naturally attracted to you? Are you worth investing in? Think about that, gang. And if you're not thinking about that, why? Why? Stop pushing or peddling something for a paycheck. You're building a business, a corporation, an empire, or a dynasty. Which one is applicable to you? Heather says dynasty, so I stole it and made it my own, but it's hers. I didn't come up with that. So think about that. You're either an employee of the corporation or you're running the corporation. It's up here. It's up here. So when Paulie's always talking about establishing your board of directors, who are you granting that position to? Who are you affording the opportunity to be so intimate with you at a corporate level? Think about this. Powerful. Are you able to transmit that message in that manner? I'm the guy that says all the time, I jokingly say this to you guys, enthusiasm trumps knowledge every day of the week. I'm a walking billboard for it. I'll say I'm more enthusiastic than I am knowledgeable. I want to be around magnetic, energetic, vibrant people. Good always comes of that. So I wanted to share some of this with you before we get started today. Good morning, everybody. I think you all know me, so I'm not going to go into a regular basic intro. So I'm covering for Gretchen today. She's double booked, and I just want to share some thoughts with you. That thought, to me, being paramount, because I do believe I'm worth investing in, but then I have to prove it. And that's what I profess all of you do, prove it. You should have, just think about this, estate planners, probate attorneys, elder care attorneys, financial advisor, title, photographer, home inspector, homeowner's insurance agent, contractor, you name it. They should be lined up to want to support you. So let me be very clear in what my definition of support is. It might be different than yours. It doesn't mean I'm right. It is my perspective. I hear this frequently. Tell me what your thoughts are. You approach your photographer, the guy or the girl that you've given an awful lot of business to or about to give a lot of business to. You're looking to establish a partnership. I want you to think about this. What would benefit you from that photographer? Let's make an assumption, good service, great photos, timely work, et cetera, et cetera. We know all that, right? Those aren't the boxes I'm checking. Think about this. Are you using the people you're using out of convenience or contribution? Convenience or contribution? That's my defining line. Convenience. They're in my office. They were introduced to me. They've done good work. I know them well. They take me to lunch. Convenience. They give my client a 20% discount. Wait a second. Let's stop there. I hear this so often, it's disturbing. My question to you would be, how is giving your client a 20% discount a contribution to the growth of your corporation. Help me understand that. So I'm going to ask you again, take inventory, break that down. Is that a contribution to the growth of your corporation? The short answer from my perspective is no. My client is very willing to pay you what you believe you're worth. I would never tell you to take less than what you believe you're worth. How many agents on this call feel good and like it when a client says to them, we'll hire you, but you need to do this for 1.5%, not 3%? Does that make you feel good? Are you excited about that? Why, on God's green earth, would you make one of your partners feel like you just felt? Why? If it didn't feel good to you, why are you doing it to somebody else? Again, that goes back to mentality. We want to earn the top commission, but we want all of you to give a discount to me and my clients. What? If you didn't like the feeling of taking less than what you're worth, why would you ask somebody else to do that? Why is getting a discount, getting somebody to accept less than what they believe they're worth, a contribution? Why would you do that to somebody that you love, somebody you give business to? Well, I'm just curious. Does anybody have a thought about that? Good, bad, or indifferent? Let me turn my volume up. I can't hear you. Heather, you're always one to participate, so thank you for volunteering. At the very least, what is the thought process when I share that with you? How do you interpret that?
I mean, there's a couple different ways I kind of look at it because I have one of those like I just see things from different ways automatically. So from one perspective, I mean, being part of this elite network kind of, I mean, we don't necessarily want to discount any of our services because that's part of us, what sets us apart. But at the same time, we need to do things to make sure that we get out there. So sometimes, having to do promotions for short periods of time, it's not a bad idea. That's kind of the flip side of it. However, I can understand how it would be discerning. Like I did meet with some of my roofing partners yesterday, and I've had a like long outstanding relationship. One of the gentlemen has actually like moved companies and I moved with him because he's just that awesome. Um, and we sat down and we had a conversation about it yesterday. And that was how they approached it. When they asked, they were like, okay, so this is kind of like an elevated vendor, right? And I was like, no, 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 this is not what it is. Like, am I asking for your partnership and your contribution? Yes. But what I'm asking for in return is two parts. It's not to benefit me, it's to benefit our community. And the benefit that I'm getting out of this is having a stable, reliable partner that is as equally dedicated to this level of services and dedication that we're trying to give back with our outreach. Like, I'm not asking you to discount anything. What I'm asking you is to help me promote your business and your services to elevate us to stand out above all of our competitors. Because if we really look at our particular market, and I'm not saying any market's different or the same, what have you, but our particular market, like anything that is really related to real estate or even senior care, like my background before real estate was healthcare. Like that's what I did. I was in HR in long-term care. So I know I have an idea of all of these different populations, and it's like that it is truly you have to stand apart. So when I give this, and I know I need to fine tune it, but when I give this one-on-one conversation that I'm having with these vendors that I am really truly trying to turn into partners because I need their help. I can't get all this information out to the public. I have knowledge, but I'm not like a professional in each one of these niches. And that's what I'm looking for. I need somebody that can dedicate at least 15 to 30 minutes once a month to either get on these lives and do this live until we can record them and have them accessible for free to our people, which our people is our community, or somebody that can do this in person once a month. And it doesn't have to be the same person every single time. Like I don't want the
So-
same partner company coming every single month. I want each different partner that's contributing from each company to bring something different each month. And I don't necessarily think that we'll do it for a month for a long period of time, but again, until we're established in the community, that's I think what we need to do. And then the other plan is I still need to come up with a name for all of us.
So let me peel this back a little bit. My initial question of you was, how are you interpreting the concept that I'm sharing to discern between giving a discount to the client and a contribution to the company? So let's assume I'm a roofer. You're approaching me, I'm approaching you.
Okay.
What do you want from me as a roofer?
I would like for you to participate in different seminars so that we can educate our community. Because what I have already heard in feedback just from conversations during the inspections that they're doing for clients and what have you, that there's a lot of people that don't necessarily even know how to correctly maintain their own property when it comes to their roof and their gutters. And that was part of the conversation yesterday, which is why
Okay,
I
hold on one second.
expressed the need.
Hold on. So, gang, follow this. Heather, love it, but follow this, gang. Think about this now. If I may share this with you. Anytime you're presenting something, and this is for you to interpret, if this makes sense, apply it. If it doesn't, don't. I want you to think how the brain fires. Think about this concept. Would you rather talk about the reward or the work required to obtain the reward? I want to share with you how our brains fire. We are more excited into activity when we are shown the reward prior to the effort. Heather is asking for the effort prior to the reward. She's doing it in the opposite manner. And I love her, and I always thank her for participating and joining, but I need you to think about this. This is part of the linguistic execution I'm sharing with you. She's asking me to do work. She's asking me to do presentations. She's asking me to do, what's the reward? Place the reward first, and then talk about the effort. Why isn't everybody a professional athlete? Because it requires 6 days a week, 12-hour work days. That's why. But we all want the glory. We don't want the story. We want the reward. We don't want the work. So why are we presenting the work? We're already turning somebody off by telling them what they have to do. You don't have to do anything. What could the reward be? In the data, the research I found, in our geographic footprint, the average home is 25 years and older. How often are roofs supposed to be inspected or replaced? The roofing guy might say every 10 years inspected, every 18 years replaced. So if demographically we have 2,000 homes in our town with roofs over 25 years old, those are all your clients, aren't they? Talk about the reward prior to the effort. You will get more engagement than if you push people away by telling them how much work it's going to take. So in her presentation, in everybody's presentation, if that makes sense to you, I would present it as such. This month, in June, somebody's going to die in your town. Fact. Somebody's going to die. My question is, shouldn't your name be on the listing sign? Do you want the next person that's going into hospice, aging out of the home, passing away, has to sell the real estate? Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Your name needs to be on those listing signs. It's easy. All we need to do is get to the estate planner or probate attorney that's handling the estate. Simple. Simple. So I'm doing it in reverse order. I want the listing. Somebody's going to die. These are all facts. I'm going to get that. My name's going to be on that sign. I'm looking forward to that. Now let me show you how to do it. Always start with the reward, then talk about the effort required. Thoughts or questions about that? Again, gang, I don't invest a lot of time in the actual real estate per se. I believe the real estate is a byproduct of your performance. Your performance is based on your ability to take a script, take a story, articulate the message in an enthusiastic way so that you influence people to come to you. Don't push them away with the detail and the data. Take the information and become influential to the point where people line up. And think about this. Always put the effort of the work after the reward. And I don't ask anybody to do anything. I invest in Heather Gormy because of her attitude, her character, her integrity, her work ethic, her drive, her desire, her magnetic personality. I'm drawn to her. She doesn't have to ask me to do anything. If you're asking a lot of people to do things, it means your performance isn't good enough. Think about that. Take inventory. Who's helping you manage that? Your performance should be a showstopper. People would be lined up after they listen to that. I want to buy another ticket to that show. Are you kidding? That's what you're looking for. If you find yourself having to ask, the performance wasn't good enough. They should be asking you, when can I get started, Heather? When you start to hear that, you've gotten to the next level. If you're not hearing that and you've got to ask and chase, your performance isn't good enough. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm being candid, charitable, and kind. It's just my way of loving. So any thoughts on the stuff that I shared with you guys? Obviously not related to what she just did. Taking that, hearing that for the first thing, my thought essentially would be this. It's something I also teach with listing and buyer appointments when people go on them. In the same way I talk about the story before the end, meaning context prior to content. What I mean when I say that is prior to the appointment, I would already be doing that. I would have already done the reels. I've already done that. And I don't want to invest time in something I don't have yet. I think the opposite. If I would show up and show them what I've already done, nobody else would have done it. So what Gretchen just shared with us is absolutely incredible, enhancing our lives and our presentation. And I would have done that in anticipation of meeting with the buyers to show them what I've already done in order to achieve that. Thoughts or questions about that, gang?
Holly, what would you have done prior to the meeting? Say that you have the listing appointment, just talk about the house in the
all the
neighborhood.
activities that are close to the home. She has a walking group. I'm in the walking group. Everything that's going on in her community that she's participating in already, or would help to market the property, I would have already done those. It's things that Gretchen naturally does. She's in a walking group. She could do a short reel. She already said she could take her bicycle on the bicycle path and do a short reel. It's what she does automatically anyhow. I'm just saying anything you're thinking you would have done post, I would do pre. For me, it's always about the pre-introduction that creates the separation because you're standing apart. So if other people can use AI in the same manner or in a similar manner and show up and saying, this is what I'm going to do, I profess that you do it prior. In other words, already anticipate it's yours. See, to me, a listing appointment is akin to an audition. I don't like to go on auditions. I want the producer to call me and say, I've got the part for you. You let me know if you want it. It's a different mindset. If you say I'm going on a listing appointment, people say break a leg. It's like you're going on an audition. How am I going to do? No, I'm already locked in. I've already got this prior. So instead of them saying what I'm going to do after, let me do it before. Invest. I always invest more upfront, so I do less later. Think about that. We good, gang? God bless you guys. Thanks for attending. Have a wonderful day. Let's go make some money, yeah?
Thank you.